What's up, pimps, hoes, players, and busters? This is Mr.Cygnus back again for yet another audio commentary for the best webpage in the freaking world, WCReplays.com. Alright guys, I got a special game here for you guys, me versus my friend 4K Grubby. I'll be getting a lot of PMs from people asking me, you know, stuff about Orc, you know, why no one can beat Orc as Night Elf. I mean, what do I do? And I was thinking to myself, what the hell do I do? Because, man, I'm telling you, I've been having some hard times versus Orc, man. Orc has been beating the shit out of me. It's like they've been doing the same damn thing every freaking game. They do the Farseer harass with one grunt, then they come with a few more grunts, and then they go creep for a while, then they come back with demolishers and towers. Every game. It's unbeatable. So I was thinking, you know, I've got to do something, man. I've got to, you know, figure out what to do. So I've been playing a few games with a few friends of mine. Lately I played Grubby. He offered me probably the best help I've ever received. So today I'm going to be able to share that with you guys. As for my audios, I know it's been a while since I came out with my last one. I like to try and give you guys the best I can do, and I'd hate to do an audio commentary on, you know, a game that's going to be patched in a few days. So I just waited to see what the new patch had to offer. So they did nerf human a tad bit. They nerfed Orc. They nerfed undead, which really doesn't matter too much, as destroyers never really hurt Night Elf to begin with too much. But anyways, patch is a patch. So what? Also, you know, I must say, even more than strategies and tips and tactics that I learned from Grubby today, I did learn one thing, and that is that complaining about imbalances is really stupid when it comes to Warcraft. Because, you know, I was talking with Grubby, and, you know, I had a few questions to ask him. You know, I was like, you know, Grubby, you know, it seems that every Night Elf player hates Orc, and there's like nothing, you know, you can really do. There's like no way to stop Gruntapult, you know, or grunts raiders, or even mass air. And I said, you know, Grubby, what is Night Elf like your easiest race for you to beat? And he actually said to me, on the contrary, when it comes to the pro gaming level, Night Elf is his hardest matchup. And I was like, whoa, dude, you've got to be kidding me, right? I mean, it's like there's no way for Night Elf to really stop Orc except maybe by a fast expansion or something, or some kind of luck tactic. And he said, no, not really. He said, when it comes down to it, Night Elf has a lot of options versus Orc. And I said, no shit, huh? And he goes, yeah, dude, like, basically, Night Elf has an options of many different kinds of heroes versus Orc. I mean, you have the Demon Hunter, you've got the Keeper, you've got the Warden. I mean, you never know what to expect. And he says, Night Elf can do a lot of different tactics versus Orc. And he said another thing that I thought was very interesting that he said when it comes down to the pro gaming level versus the standard average player level, he says, yeah, maybe Orc owns the crap out of normal playing Night Elf players. But when it comes down to playing with a lot of micro and tactic at the pro gaming level, Orc and Night Elf are pretty evenly matched up. And I thought that was pretty impressive, and also gave me a glimmer of hope. Maybe I can probably turn something around and maybe learn a few strategies that might help out. So hopefully I can get into all of that, and I don't forget any of that shit a little later. Anyways, let's get this shit unpaused and fired up, because I'm tired of talking about crap, and I want to see what Grubby did, because I didn't really watch it from his angle. So anyways, let's go ahead and unpause in 3, 2, 1. You're at the 30-second mark. Let's unpause now. Okay, so 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. He's building a barracks, a burrow, and an altar of storms. I'm sure anybody can do that. But when Grubby does it, it just looks so sexy. As for myself, what the fuck? I'm not building a Demon Hunter. Wow. The reason I'm not building a Demon Hunter in this map is because, number one, I'm trying to do anything I can to try something different versus Orc. And I found one hero that just seems to work damn good versus Orc, and it is not the Beastmaster, my friends. It is the Panda Brewmaster. Yes, arguably said to be true. The Beastmaster is the best hero versus Orc. I still think it is a really good hero versus Orc. The Demon Hunter, also a very good hero versus Orc on smaller maps. But the Panda Brewmaster is really damn good. So hopefully I can share with you guys reasons with that. Right now I'm just doing some archers. I'm building the moonwells and the altar. I think there's a better way to do a neutral hero build. I wouldn't exactly follow this one. I'm still kind of playing with it myself. You know, it's kind of hard for me because, you know, I've been building the same freaking hero versus everybody since 1.12, so kind of altering my strategy is kind of different to me. So I've been playing around with it, maybe trying to get faster archers as opposed to maybe an extra wisp on the wood earlier in the game. Anyways, I do scout grubbies in the upper left-hand corner. That's all good. Doesn't matter too much on this map. So right now I'm going to go ahead and grab my Panda Brewmaster. As for Grubby, he's got the Blade Master. Grubby does say that the Farseer is the best hero versus Orc, but sometimes it's good to go the Blade Master. I mean, he's not as effective, but he's really good at harassment. That's where he excels at. As for myself, I like to hide my wisps around the map because it's a real bitch when like those stupid wolves come in and start killing all your wisp and you're forced to detonate. So if you hide him, there's really not much for him to target except maybe moonwells or archers, and if he's targeting archers, I'm just going to get the experience on the wolves anyways. So that's generally what I do versus Orc, is hide my wisp as much as possible. Maybe keeping 2 or 3 in my base for building purposes. Anyways, here comes the Blade Master right now. Down goes a wisp. You never really can detonate that in time because it happens so quick, but you know, when it happens, you just should be preparing to do anything you can to hide your wisp. So I'll lose a second wisp. I do run one out of the base. I'm trying to get him to chase it down, maybe lure him out of my base, but Grubby, of course, ain't no fool. So right now he's running his grunt around. I was trying to put that wisp in front of the grunt, but it won't make it there in time. So yeah, no Gosu maneuvers for me there. Now he's luring me away, so he's trying to get me to chase his grunt, and there's no way I'm going to be able to kill that fat-ass grunt in time, so the best thing for me to do is probably try and go back and get his Blade Master out of the base. When I'm using the Demon Hunter, all I have to really do is mana burn the Blade Master, and when I'm using the Demon Hunter, I love seeing the Blade Master. It's like, you know, makes me feel real warm and gooey inside. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, just mana burn that fool, and he's never coming back. So, and that just basically means he's going to be doing a fast tech, because usually most Orc players who go Blade Master are usually doing a fast tech or something crazy like that, like Mass Air or whatever. As you can see, Grubby is doing a fast tech. I mean, he's almost at Stronghold right now, still continuing to pump out grunts. Not only is he doing that, he's also creeping and harassing at the same time, like a true pimp player would. And right now he's just kind of screwing with me. When you're going the Beastmaster or the Panda Brewmaster, fast creeping is necessary. I mean, it's almost essential. So you want to try and get as high as possible on those heroes. He did focus down on my wisps. I tried to build a Moonwell to save it, so I was forced to cancel. So he's just going to focus down on that. I'm just going to focus back down on his hero. As for what I was saying before, when I go the Panda Brewmaster, here's the skill order I go. First I go Drunken Haze, for any harassing whatever. Then I go Burn, then I go Burn, then I go Drunken Haze, then I go Burn, then I go Ultimate. I go Burn over Haze because, you know, just the Breath of Fire seems to kick the crap out of Orc really hard. Especially versus towers. In case you guys didn't know, you can use the Burn on buildings, towers, and demolishers, and burrows. So burrow harassment with the Panda Brewmaster is extremely effective. So that's what I was hoping to do versus him this game, but there's no way in hell Grubby's gonna let me do that because he's got the skills to pay the bills. Anyways, right now I pick up Tome of Intelligence. I mean, a Tome of Experience. So that's good stuff. I'm trying to keep my panda alive here. Of course I did that on purpose because I'm Gosu. So I'm going to continue creeping that out. As for Grubby right now, he's continuing to do solo harassment, and he's going to pick up a few solves and speed scroll and all that good stuff, and he's going to continue creeping with the grunts. As for myself, my goal is I was trying to get a mixture of units. I remember talking to Grubby, and he said that basically the way to go versus Orc is to go a big mixture of units, because yeah, it just works, trust me. I'll go into more of that good stuff later. So right now I'm just going to try and creep out this expansion spot, maybe try and pop up an expansion. Tell you the truth, I really wasn't planning on expanding, because I'm sure Grubby wouldn't be a fool and allow me to do that very easily. As you can see, he's already heading his grunts off into my direction. Pretty smart thing to be aware of the fact that at this point of the game I might be creeping this area, so basically he's checking both out at the same time, one with the Blade Master, one with his pack of grunts. So the grunts arrive, I have to force myself to TP and shadow meld. I did TP opposed to running away because he had so many grunts I would just get sandwiched in there. I couldn't really afford to lose more than one more archer at that time. So, alright, so anyways, he wind walks in. Just a little too late. Probably could have had a hero kill if he was there a little sooner. And so right now he's just going to try and do a little more wisp harassment. He is able to successfully kill off this wisp here. Hits level 3. Forces me to go back into my base. At this point he does have Wind Riders now. So he is he's upgrading Ensnare, and he's getting Wind Riders. So usually, one thing Orc players usually do when they get Wind Riders is they try and go for mass bats and Wind Riders. I don't find that strategy to be very effective. Yeah, it's good for harassing, but you know, it's easily countered, to tell you the truth. So what you will notice Grubby does here is he doesn't overdo it. All he gets is about 2 or 3, I think it's about 3 Wind Riders, and uses them for harassment purposes only, while he techs 2 grunts and raiders. I mean, that's brilliant. He's a freaking genius.
Our sacred grove is being desecrated.
So anyways, as for my stupid self, I'm just massing archers. Wind Rider flies by. Successful in the kill. You know, you did that by mistake, I'm sure. Right now I'm just trying to keep this hero away from my army. I wanted to do that creeping spot right there. He's still creeping with his grunts solo by themselves. Or not really solo because there's a pack of grunts. But anyways, he's creeping. Let's just leave it at that. I'm going to try and attack. I'm like, you know, he's been harassing me all game. He's got to be up to something. So I better start attacking and harassing before it's too late. You never want to let your opponent attack and creep freely. So I better start doing something. Anyways, he's just focusing down on Archer. Critical strike. Down goes the Archer. There goes a couple raiders. He ensnares 2 raiders and runs the raiders away. Talk about good micro, man. If you want to talk about good micro, I'm going to tell you guys something right now. After this game, I was talking to Grubby on MSN for a while, and I was like, Grubby, what are you doing right now? And he was like, I'm playing a ladder game. And I was like, you're playing a ladder game? How are you typing to me on the computer and playing in a ladder game at the same time? And he was like, oh, well, you know, I got 2 computers. And I was like, 2 freaking computers? Man, I'd be lucky to be able to scratch my nose and play ladder at the same time, let alone type to someone. And I was like, well, what's your APM while you're playing ladder and typing at the same time? He's like, oh, about 180 or so. I was like, 180. Dude, I'd be lucky to get 180 if I was doing crack or something, man. That's crazy shit. So anyways, I'm chasing his pack of grunts around. Basically, in case you guys didn't know, he's trying to lure me away from his base. And then I kind of realized that a little late. I was like, oh, wait a minute, why am I chasing these grunts down? I'm never going to get there in time, and I have no TP, so I better turn around and start attacking his base or something, at least start doing some damage or something. Because there's no point in me sitting in my base all game. It's just going to give him map control, because he's just using grunts, raiders, and Wind Riders to harass me. And basically just gives him map control while I'm forced to sit in my base. So, right now he's just focusing down on my tree. As for myself, if you will notice, I did use Breath of Fire on the burrows. Really effective, just focusing down on the burrows. Maybe I can take those out, kill some peons, run back to my base, try and salvage as much as possible. I wasn't really too sure. Anyways, he's TP's in, so I run out after taking out that burrow. Turn around, throw a little Drunken Haze. Check this out. Look how effective Burn in Drunken Haze is. I mean, my army is far insuperior to his army. Let alone I'm able to take out quite a few of his units. So, well, I put up somewhat of a fight, and down goes the Panda Brewmaster, and down goes the archers. Well, as for you orc players out there, I hope you realized maybe how to do something different other than Gruntapult. You know, look at here, you got Wind Riders, you've got Grunts and Raiders. I mean, this is a viable strategy that maybe other people can use as well. So maybe this will start tempting other orc players to do something freaking different other than the same cheesy shit. So, well, that's alright, you know, because at the end of this replay here, I'm going to go ahead and share with you a ton of tips that Grubby gave me that I'm sure everyone will really enjoy. So right now, he's just going to come in there and basically take out my base. I mean, the game's practically over. I should probably head off into the endgame analysis about now. Alright, as for tips. You know, I stated earlier, I think, that I was asking Grubby about, you know, what his hardest race to play against was, and he's saying that Night Elf indeed was the hardest race for him to play against, which was pretty surprising to me. And I said, well, you know, what exactly am I doing wrong? I mean, we played a few games and he beat the shit out of me, and I was like, you know, what am I doing wrong? It seems like nothing I do works. He says the problem is that early in the game, he says you're making so many archers, it's hard for you to stop the harassment. What you need to do is, if you're going to go a neutral hero, get about 3 or 4 archers and then switch to Huntress. Get about 2 or 3 Huntress and no more than 2 or 3 Huntress, and you should be able to put off any, oh, that's a sexy Blade Storm. Anyways, you should be able to hold off any early game harassment. Huntress are superior ground units, so you should do okay. And he says basically what you want to do is the 4-unit combo versus Orc. He says you want to get, like, you know, about 3 Dryads so that units can't run away. He says you want to get like mass archers, 3 or 4 Huntress, 3 or 4 Druid of the Talon. Maybe a Chimera late game would be okay. And then when he brought that up, I was like, well, what about the mass air strategy? I mean, back in 1.14, I had this like unbeatable strategy versus Orc. You know, I was going mass air, fully upgraded armor on Chimeras, Hippogriff Rider, and Druid of the Talon in Hawk form, and it's like Bat Riders didn't stand a freaking chance because they'd never be able to hit the back line. And he says, yeah, that's true, but he says with the boost of speed and the invulnerability of the Bat Riders, mass air is not very good because you're relying on air too much. But he says it would be a good strategy in 1 or 2 situations, and I was like, please share, Sensei. And he was like, alright, here's what happens. If you do notice early game, if the Orc player goes 2 barracks early game, basically you're going to see mass ground as usual, usually a tower rush. So basically, if you can do a switch mid-game to mass air, they won't be able to switch the resources over in time to get enough effective anti-air. The second thing he says, if you do notice that he goes too many upgrades in ground units, like 1 armor and 1 upgrade into, you know, Raiders and Grunts, he says go ahead and do your mass air. I mean, it might work at that point because too much resources to switch over. And I was like, well, that's a good idea. So anyways, my basic idea behind doing this audio commentary was to try and share those tips with you guys about Orc. You know, I've been having a lot of problems versus Orc lately, and I was wondering what I should be doing to counter these semi-abusive strategies that people say are just owning the crap out of Night Elf. So I figured I'd share these strategies with you guys, you know, that I talked about with Grubby, and hopefully maybe I can do a follow-up game for somebody in ladder and show you guys how to use these strategies that I just talked about, how to use the Panda Brewmaster. So I'll definitely be doing a follow-up game. I might even maybe see if I can play a few more games with Grubby and get some more practice in with him, and see what else I can show you guys. So there definitely will be a follow-up Orc commentary. So we'll see what's up with that. So basically, you guys should remember not to really think of things as abuse, but maybe try and find a way around abuse. There's always a way to counter things. You just need to be the kind of player that, doesn't give up and roll over and, be a little bitch about it. You should just be out there handling your business like a real pimp player man. Gotta thank Grubby for playing good games with me. Appreciate playing good games with my friends and them allowing them to let me do audios on them. Grubby wasn't able to go to WCR in France. He said he was too busy making out with the Olsen twins and, macking on all the ladies. So that's too bad. You gotta handle your business. So good stuff with that. So with all that said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed the audio commentary. Hopefully I'll get one done soon again for you guys. Alright guys, thanks for listening to the audio. You guys stay cool, have good games, stay out of trouble. Peace.